The champagne bubbles rising in my glass remind me of lies. How they start small at the bottom, gathering momentum as they climb toward the surface, expanding until they finally break into nothing. I'm counting them when my husband begins to speak. 28 years, Gregory says, his voice carrying across the private dining room of Augustino's. 50 people turn toward him, forks pausing mid-air, conversations dissolving. 28 years of marriage teaches you what really matters. My daughter Amelia sits beside me, graduation cap tilted slightly on her dark hair, her hand warm in mine. She squeezes my fingers. Here comes the sentimental father speech, her eyes say. Brace yourself. I smile. I've been bracing myself for 3 months. What matters, Gregory continues, raising his glass higher, is honesty. The word lands like a stone in still water. I watch the ripples spread across his face, a micro-expression of anticipation, maybe cruelty. Our eyes meet across the candlelight. He thinks I don't know. He thinks I'm the woman I was yesterday, last month, last year. The woman who pressed his shirts and balanced his checkbooks and swallowed her dreams like bitter medicine. I've decided to start a new life, he says. Without you. The room inhales, held breath, collective shock, the delicious horror of watching someone else's marriage detonate in real time. I can feel their eyes pivoting toward me, hungry for tears, for shouting, for the spectacular collapse of Bianca Caldwell's dignity. Instead, I take a sip of champagne. Let them wait. Amelia's hand goes rigid in mine. Mom, it's all right, sweetheart. My voice comes out steadier than I expected, steadier than I feel. Because despite 3 months of preparation, despite knowing this exact moment was coming, Gregory's words, this room, this day, there's still a part of me dying. The part that remembers when his speeches made me cry for different reasons. I stand. The cream-colored envelope I've been carrying in my purse for 16 hours suddenly feels heavy as I place it on the white tablecloth beside his plate. What? Gregory's triumph falters. What is this? Something to read later, I say. After dessert, maybe. Across the room, Cassandra Wells shifts in her chair. 37, blonde, appropriately uncomfortable in her navy dress. The woman my husband has been promising a beachfront future. The woman who doesn't yet know that he's been paying for their romantic dinners with money meant for our daughter's textbooks. I turn to Amelia, whose face has gone the color of the tablecloth. I kiss her forehead, smell her perfume mixed with the faint anxiety sweat of a girl watching her family implode on what should be her day. I am so proud of you, I whisper. This doesn't change that. Mom, wait. But I'm already moving toward the door, past tables of friends who knew and never told me, past Gregory's business partners who are suddenly fascinated by their salmon, past the life I've been playing like a role in someone else's script. The Augusta heat hits me when I push through the restaurant doors. 93 degrees, the car thermometer said this morning, hot enough to melt resolve, to second guess, to run back inside and pretend none of this is happening. Behind me the door crashes open. Bianca! What the hell is this? What have you done? Gregory's voice carries panic now, not confidence. I keep walking toward my car, toward the future I've been secretly architecting while he thought I was just managing the household finances. What have you done? He shouts again. I unlock my door, slide inside, and finally let myself smile. Everything, I think. I've done everything. 3 months earlier, I found the first crack in our marriage while looking for something else entirely. It was a Tuesday, one of those ordinary October afternoons where nothing significant is supposed to happen. I was searching for our insurance documents, preparing our annual financial review, when I noticed it, a transfer of $2,400 to an account I didn't recognize. My hands stopped moving across the keyboard. 20 years as a finance manager teaches you to see patterns in numbers the way a doctor sees symptoms. This wasn't a mistake, it was deliberate, clean, routed through our joint account but destined for somewhere I couldn't access. I could have asked Gregory that night when he came home smelling like cologne he doesn't wear. Could have confronted him over the chicken piccata I'd made, his favorite, the one he barely touched while scrolling through his phone. Instead, I poured myself a glass of wine and opened a new spreadsheet. The thing about financial fraud, and I knew immediately that's what this was, is that it's never just one transaction. Money leaves a trail like breadcrumbs, and I've spent 3 decades following trails. Over the next week, I found 17 more transfers, small amounts, spread across months, designed to look like ordinary expenses. Utilities, insurance, home repairs. Except our utilities were already paid. Our insurance was current. And we hadn't done any repairs since Gregory lost interest in his furniture business, and I stopped suggesting we fix anything. $47,000. That's what he'd moved. Nearly $50,000 siphoned from our shared life into a future he was building without me. I should have felt rage. Instead, I felt something colder, clarity. That Friday, Diana called about Thanksgiving plans. Gregory's sister and I had always been close, closer than she was with her own brother sometimes. "Is everything all right?" she asked. "You sound distant," I almost told her. Almost said, "Your brother is stealing from me. Your brother is planning something." But intuition held my tongue. "Just tired," I said. "You know how Gregory gets during his existential phases." Diana laughed, but there was an edge to it. "Bianca, I need to tell you something." The silence stretched between us like a wire pulled taut. "I saw Gregory last Christmas. At that wine bar downtown. He was with someone." My heart didn't race. It fell, slow and heavy, like a stone dropping through dark water. "Blonde woman," Diana continued, her voice tight with guilt. "Younger. They were close. I confronted him later. He swore it was nothing, just a colleague, that he'd never—" She exhaled shakily. "I believed him. God, Bianca, I believed him." "What's her name?" I asked, my voice unnaturally calm. "Cassandra Wells. She works in marketing. I looked her up after." Diana paused. "I'm so sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I wanted to believe." "It's okay," I interrupted, though it wasn't. "Thank you for telling me now." After we hung up, I sat at my desk until the winter sun bled out across our hardwood floors. The floors we'd chosen together 15 years ago, arguing playfully about stain colors. Gregory had wanted darker, I'd wanted lighter, we'd compromised. That night, I Googled Cassandra Wells. Found her LinkedIn, her Instagram, her carefully curated life. Saw photos of beaches and champagne glasses and motivational quotes about knowing your worth. Aw, comment from 6 months ago on a sunset photo. "Can't wait for our future." Gregory had liked it. I closed my laptop, walked to the kitchen, and began making dinner. While the pasta boiled, I called Philip Anderson, the attorney who'd handled my father's estate. "Philip," I said when he answered, "I need to discuss something confidential. How thoroughly do prenuptial agreements hold up in Georgia?" I almost didn't press record. It's February now, 2 months into my investigation, and I'm standing in our bedroom doorway watching Gregory get dressed for a business dinner. The lie sits so comfortably on his face that I wonder how many others I've missed over the years. My phone weighs heavy in my cardigan pocket. Philip had been clear, Georgia is a one-party consent state. If I'm present during a conversation, I can legally record it. But legal and moral aren't always the same thing, and some part of me, the part that still remembers our wedding vows, the part that held his hand through my father's funeral, resists this final betrayal of trust. Then Gregory's phone rings. He glances at the screen, and something shifts in his expression, something tender. "I need to take this," he says, walking past me toward his study. I follow silently. He doesn't notice. He never notices anymore. "Hey, beautiful," he says into the phone, closing the study door but not quite latching it. "No, she's upstairs. She won't hear." My hand moves to my pocket. My thumb finds the record button. I don't press it. Not yet. "After the graduation," Gregory continues, "I'll tell her it's over. A public setting is better. She won't make a scene in front of everyone." The words should hurt more than they do. Instead, I feel like I'm watching myself from somewhere above, a woman in a doorway listening to her husband plan her humiliation. Cassandra's voice comes through faintly, and she has no idea about the money. I press record. "None," Gregory laughs. Actually laughs. "Bianca trusts me completely. That's always been her weakness. She's so busy managing everything else that she never thinks to question me. Something inside me doesn't break. It calcifies. The property in Tybee is perfect," he continues. 3 bedrooms, ocean view. We can close in June, use the money from the joint investment account. She won't notice until it's too late. I stop recording. I have enough. Back in our bedroom, I sit on the edge of the bed we've shared for 28 years. The comforter is the one I picked out 5 years ago after Gregory said he didn't care about decorating details. The pillows are arranged the way I've arranged them every morning since we moved into this house. Everything in this room is a choice I made alone while pretending we made it together. My phone buzzes. Amelia texting from campus. Dad just Venmo'd me $200 for textbooks. He's the best. I stare at the message. $200. Gregory gave our daughter $200 while hiding $47,000, while planning to steal more. While my brilliant girl worked 2 campus jobs because we told her money was tight. That's when something breaks after all. Not my composure. My hesitation. I pull up Philip's number, but before I can call, I hear Gregory's footsteps on the stairs. I slip my phone under my pillow and lie down, facing away from the door. Bianca? He enters softly. You okay? Just tired, I say, eyes closed. The bed dips as he sits beside me. His hand touches my shoulder, the same hand that just held the phone, speaking tenderly to another woman. I know I've been distant lately, he says, work stress. But after Amelia graduates, things will be different. We'll have time for us again. The lie is so perfect, so practiced, that I almost admire it. I'd like that, I whisper. After he leaves, I retrieve my phone and text Philip. I'm ready, let's file. The woman who almost didn't press record is gone. The architect of her own future remains. Diana's living room smells like jasmine tea and old books. I've been here for 3 hours since walking out of the restaurant, and my phone has become a weapon I can't put down. 47 messages, 12 missed calls. All variations of the same question, what just happened? You should eat something, Diana says, placing a plate of cheese and crackers I won't touch beside me. I served him this morning, I say, still staring at my phone. Before the graduation ceremony. Process server caught him coming out of the gym at 6 a.m. Diana's eyebrows rise. He didn't tell you that part when he was shouting in the driveway. He probably hasn't processed it yet. The envelope I gave him at dinner wasn't the divorce papers. It was a copy of the prenup with the fidelity clause highlighted. I finally look up at her. The real papers are already filed. Accounts frozen as of noon today. Jesus, Bianca. Diana sits heavily in her chair. You've been planning this like a military operation, like a financial audit, I correct. Which is what it is, technically. But my hands are shaking as I say it, and Diana notices everything. How are you really? She asks quietly. The question punctures something. I feel my throat tighten, my eyes burn. I've held myself together through the restaurant, through the driveway, through 3 months of secret preparation. But Diana's kindness is somehow harder to withstand than Gregory's cruelty. I don't know, I admit. I thought I'd feel triumphant, powerful. Instead, I just feel... My voice cracks. I keep thinking about our 10th anniversary. Remember? He surprised me with that weekend in Charleston. We stayed at that tiny bed and breakfast, and it rained the whole time, but we didn't care. We stayed in bed and talked about Amelia's future, about growing old together. That was real, Diana says gently. That version of Gregory existed. Did he? Or was I just too busy being useful to notice I'd married someone who only loved me when I was serving a purpose? I wipe my eyes roughly. God, listen to me. I sound pathetic. I just orchestrated the perfect revenge. And I'm crying about rain in Charleston. You're allowed to grieve and be angry simultaneously. My phone erupts with a call. Amelia. I answer immediately. Mom, I'm 5 minutes away. Her voice is tight, controlled in that way that means she's barely holding it together. Dad cornered me in the parking lot. He's saying you've lost your mind, that you've been planning this for months, that you're vindictive and... She stops abruptly. And what? That you're punishing him for being honest about his feelings. Her voice breaks. Mom, did you know before today? The question I've been dreading. Yes, I say simply. I've known for 3 months. Silence stretches between us. I can hear her breathing, can imagine her face, the same face that looked at me with such trust this morning when I helped her adjust her graduation cap. You didn't tell me. It's not quite an accusation, but it's not understanding either. I didn't want to ruin your semester. Your graduation. You worked so hard. You let me hug him this morning, Amelia says, her voice rising. You let me thank him for being such a great father while you knew he was going to blow up our family at dinner. You made me complicit in this performance. The words land like physical blows because she's right. In protecting her, I've also betrayed her. Amelia, I'm so sorry, I thought I'm pulling in, she interrupts. We'll talk when I get inside. The line goes dead. Diana reaches for my hand. She'll understand eventually. Will she? I ask. I'm not sure I understand myself anymore. Amelia arrives with mascara streaked down her cheeks and rage in her eyes. Not at Gregory, but at me. You've known for 3 months? She's standing in Diana's doorway, still in her graduation dress, trembling. 3 months of family dinners where I talked about how excited I was for today. 3 months of you smiling and nodding while planning this ambush. It wasn't an ambush, sweetheart. Your father was planning to. Don't call me that right now. Her voice cracks. Don't use your mom voice like everything's fine. Nothing is fine. You turned my graduation into a spectacle. The accusation stings because part of me knows she's right. Part of me chose this day deliberately, knowing it would hurt Gregory most, knowing the public setting would amplify his humiliation. Your father chose this day, I say quietly. I just refuse to let him control the narrative. By controlling it yourself? Amelia's laugh is bitter, unfamiliar. You're exactly like him. Both of you playing chess with my life as the board? Diana stands. Amelia, that's not fair, isn't it? Amelia whirls toward her aunt. You knew too, didn't you? Last Christmas, you saw them together and you waited months to tell Mom. Everyone knew except me, the stupid kid who thought her family was happy. The room falls silent except for Amelia's ragged breathing. Then the doorbell rings. We all freeze. Diana moves to the window, peers through the curtain, and turns back with an expression I can't read. It's Gregory, she says. And Cassandra. Something crystallizes in Amelia's face. Before I can stop her, she strides to the door and yanks it open. Gregory looks worse than he did an hour ago. Tie loosened, face flushed, desperation replacing his earlier bravado. Cassandra stands slightly behind him, uncomfortable in her own skin. Amelia. Gregory's voice softens. Honey, I need to talk to your mother. This has gotten out of hand. Out of hand? Amelia's voice is deadly quiet. You announced your affair at my graduation dinner and it's gotten out of hand? It's not an affair, he says reflexively. Your mother and I, we've been growing apart for years. Sometimes people fall out of love. You're an adult now, you understand. I understand that I worked 2 jobs last semester. Amelia's words come faster, sharper. Closing the campus coffee shop at midnight, opening the library at 6 a.m. You know why? Because when I asked for help with textbooks, you said money was tight. You looked me in the eye and said we all had to make sacrifices. Gregory pales. That's not, while you were hiding $47,000. I step forward, standing beside my daughter, while you were buying jewelry and looking at beach houses. Cassandra's head snaps toward Gregory. 47,000? It's more complicated than. Gregory starts. How much did you tell her you had? I ask Cassandra directly. What did he promise you? Cassandra's face answers before her mouth does. Whatever Gregory promised, it was built on the same foundation of lies as our marriage. This is exactly what you wanted, isn't it, Bianca? Gregory's desperation curdles into anger. Turn everyone against me. Play the victim while you. I worked 2 jobs. Amelia interrupts, her voice breaking, because my father needed me to, while he spent my textbook money on his girlfriend. The silence that follows is absolute. Gregory reaches for Amelia, but she steps back, pressing against me. And in that moment, my daughter choosing my side, Gregory's face crumbling as he realizes what he's actually lost. I don't feel triumphant. I feel the weight of 28 years collapsing into this single instant. Go. Diana says quietly from the doorway. Both of you. Leave. Gregory looks at me one last time, searching for something. Mercy, maybe. Understanding. I have neither left to give. The final hearing falls on what would have been our 29th anniversary. I noticed this while sitting in the courthouse parking lot, watching rain streak down my windshield, distorting the world into something abstract and unrecognizable. 29 years. If someone had asked me at 25 where I'd be at 54, I never would have said, alone in a car, waiting to legally end the only adult life I've ever known. But I also wouldn't have said, free. Inside, the courtroom is smaller than I expected. fluorescent lights, worn carpet, the mechanical hum of justice reduced to bureaucracy. Gregory sits at the defendant's table with his attorney, his third since the preliminary hearing. The first two quit when they realized the prenup was airtight. He's lost weight. His suit hangs differently, and there are shadows under his eyes that weren't there 6 months ago. For a moment, just a flash, I remember him at 26, nervous in a tuxedo, promising me forever. Then I remember his voice on that recording. That's always been her weakness. The judge enters. We stand. The proceedings begin. It takes 47 minutes to dissolve 28 years. When it's over, Gregory approaches me in the hallway. I consider walking away, but something makes me stop. Maybe it's closure I'm after. Maybe it's just exhaustion. I hope you're satisfied, he says, but there's no venom in it anymore, just emptiness. Are you? I ask, genuinely curious. He looks at me like he's seeing a stranger. I thought starting over would feel different. Lighter. He laughs hollowly. Turns out you can't outrun yourself. No, I agree. You can't. Cassandra left 3 weeks after the preliminary hearing, he offers, though I already knew from Diana. Moved to Savannah with a developer. I saw the engagement announcement on Facebook. I should feel vindicated. Instead, I just feel tired. The business is failing, he continues. I'm living in a studio apartment in North Augusta. Everything I thought I wanted. He stops, swallows. I'm sorry, Bianca. I know that's inadequate, but I am. You deserved better than what I gave you. It's the most honest thing he's said in years. Yes, I say simply. I did. He nods, accepts this, and walks away. I watch him disappear through the courthouse doors. This man I loved and hated and ultimately had to let go. Part of me hopes he finds whatever he's looking for. The rest of me no longer cares. 6 months later, I'm standing in my new office, watching the Augusta sunset paint the sky amber and rose. The sign outside reads, Caldwell Financial Transitions. Amelia appears in the doorway, 2 coffees in hand. She's been working with me part-time while building her marketing career in Charleston. Our relationship isn't what it was. That naive trust is gone, but we're building something more honest in its place. Your 4 o'clock canceled, she says, handing me a cup. Client emergency. More time to finish the workshop materials then. I take the coffee, taste the caramel she knows I secretly love. Thank you for helping with this. Thank you for letting me, she replies. Then softer, I understand now. Why you did it the way you did. I don't know if I would have been strong enough to wait, to plan. Strength looks different for everyone, I say. She hugs me, quick, fierce, then returns to her desk. Through my window, I can see the street below, people finishing their workdays, heading home to lives I'll never know. Lives full of their own secrets, betrayals, reinventions. The woman who walked out of that restaurant 6 months ago no longer exists. But the woman who remains? She's still discovering who she might become. And for the first time in 28 years, that possibility doesn't terrify me. It thrills me.